Welcome, thanks for stopping by. It's time to learn with our friend Clive. So grab your brush, have a great time. And don't forget to click subscribe.
But I've got some ultramarine blue, which is more of the red side, red biased, rather than the green biased. So it's a bit more of a red biased ultramarine blue. But don't worry, any ultramarine blue you've got will work fine. A little bit of mid yellow and some Prussian blue and some titanium white. It's as simple as that one. There we go. So, and I'm just going to put a quick line just directly across there like that. Just a rising line for me to see. This is just a piece of cardboard which I use on my YouTube lessons now, because it's ease of use and it's discardable. And sometimes I'll keep the paint in, sometimes I'll paint over them, sometimes I'll just throw them away. But I can paint on this as sample paintings, which is really good for YouTube because I go through a lot of lessons. Up there like that, and then I'm just going to get some ultramarine blue, and I'm just going to go in and make a very, very light sky like this every single day if you want to. Yes, always on YouTube. All you've got to do is search at hashtag Cli5art and all my videos will come up. So if you're trying to find where my YouTube videos are, that's all you need to do is type in hashtag Cli5art in the YouTube search bar, and you will find all my fantastic videos that I have available. Nearly 600 videos there, so it should be something for everybody. A little bit more ultramarine blue just to darken the top of that sky like that, because I want this a little bit darker up there like that. There you go, a bit like that, a bit like that, and just a touch, just a little tiny touch of ultramarine blue maybe, just to get a little bit of difference into that sky like that. And you might be thinking, oh, your acrylics are not drying very well. They're not drying as fast as my acrylics. My acrylics dry really, really fast. So I'm just putting a little bit of dark in the sky. I want it quite subtle. I want it quite subtle. And I'm leaving a little bit of white. In fact, I tell you what I'll do. Let's just get a little bit more blue down the bottom of the sky. It's not something I normally do, but I thought maybe we'll just get that a bit warmer down there like that. And that's all we need to do to the sky for the moment before we can put any clouds on there. I just want to allow that to actually dry off. There you go, nice and easy, nice and easy. So now what I suggest you do is wash your brush first. So we need to wash that into some, let me just move that over there so you can see what I'm doing. I need to wash that into some dirty water like that. Get some soap, give it another little rinse, and this is sort of clean water. I could have cleaned it a little bit better, but just rinse that brush and check your brush first onto some tissue paper like that, just to make sure there isn't actually any pigment coming off it, because you don't want to contaminate your paint. So, but not too bad. It's not so bad this time, because I'm going into a slightly darker paint now, which is the Prussian blue, and I want to get a nice straight line as close as I can to straight. Now, if you're struggling with getting straight lines, dry it with a hairdryer, put some masking tape down, and then paint up to the masking tape. I haven't got any masking tape, but I could show you. Paint up to the masking tape and try and get that straight line. And I'm not going to worry too much about it being dead straight at the moment, because I'm going to blur that off in a second. Now you can see that's quite thin. There we are. So I just get some ultramarine blue now. Mix that in there like that. There you go. Get a little bit of white. And just blend that in. Like that. Get a little bit more white. You want to lighten up the foreground just a touch like that. get a little bit of Prussian blue, just to darken the, put a bit of shadow in the water like that. There we go. Bringing it up on a arch like that. Don't forget, these are just sample paintings, so they don't have to be perfect. When you're practicing, just practice. Just concentrate on getting the effects that you want to get, and practice blending, and practice with your brush. And you can put the paint on a bit thicker like I'm doing now. Just like that. Just to get that horizon line. Now, this is not very straight actually. This is quite a funky horizon line. It's quite a wonky horizon line, but it's okay. We can play with that, and we get a bit of shadow now, just under there like that. Get that coming down like that. Whoosh, because we got to put a wave in there. We're going to put a wave in there in a second. But what I want to do is I'm just leaving that brush on the side like that. I'm not doing anything special. I'm not doing anything magic. You can all do this. I know you can. So I'm just picking up a little filbert brush that I got lying around there. I'm not even worrying about what type of brush I'm using. I'm just going to pick up a bit of yellow now. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a bit of yellow, and I'm going to dry brush that into the canvas like this. You can see that I haven't used any sprays or anything on the canvas to keep it moist and dry. I'm just going to, just a little bit of moisture, just on my brush. Just get a little bit of green coming in like this. A little bit of green there. Just to give it a... Now, normally when we do breakers, we always have the breakers going that way, like that. Like the old Bob Ross breakers always seem to go one way, don't they? But I thought today we'd do something different, because I'm in Wales. We're a bit what they call cack-handed in Wales. What cack-handed? What's cack-handed? That means you don't need your left from your right. It's an old Welsh saying. I'm cack-handed. Well, there's a lot of cack-handed people in Wales. But that's, I'm not being personal or anything, but there is. I've lived in Wales all my life, born and bred. There's a lot of cack-handedness going on. And you from Wales, anybody out watching this from Wales will know what I mean as far as cack-handedness is concerned. So let's get a little bit of white coming in, just down like this now. I'm bringing that in, melding that in like this, merging that up there like this. Getting that around there like that. I'm bringing that in like this. Trying to get it to merge and meld and merge and all these other wonderful words that we can bring into our painting. And we'll just think of it in our minds. Just think of that waves just going like that. Put that in your head. Get that whoosh. Get that in your mind, because if you get that in your mind, then you'll paint. You'll paint like that. You will, trust me. That's how it works. For those people that follow me know that I've been doing a lot of body weightlifting and stuff like that, and body shaping. I'm not a bodybuilder. I like to get myself into a certain shape now, because I'm getting to that age where things are starting to get rusty and fall off, and I want to try and prevent that as much as I possibly can, because the last thing I want to do is wake up one morning and find out my leg has fallen off because it's all gone rusty. And you get to my age, things tend to get a bit rusty. So what we need to do is we need to work on that. There you go, get that in there. and it's called, when we're working out, when I'm working out in the gym, in my little gym, and I got 4 sheds now. Four sheds. Jane's going to kill me. Clive, you're not having another shed, she said. I said, well, I've got to have another shed, love. Where am I going to do all my weights and things like that? Well, she said, you've got 3 sheds. I said, well, I haven't got 3 sheds. I said, I haven't got 3 sheds. I've got a studio, which is a nice big summer house shed, a studio. I got a little tiny gym, which I got my little spinner bike in there, my little cross trainer in there, and I got my dumbbells and things like that at the moment. So that's 3 sheds. So I got to have another shed to put my gym stuff in, because I've got all these weights and stuff now, and barbells and things like that. And you know, I really do need another shed. Well, and I convinced her anyway. So she's in agreement with me at the moment. She's in agreement with me at the moment, but she hasn't seen how big the shed is yet. Don't tell her. Don't tell her how big the shed is, because she might shout at me. So we need to get some shadow into this water now. Get some swell going on. There we go. There's a little breaker. So just a little bit of white and blue mixed in my brush like this, and just get these little things coming off like that. Just dry brush, very little paint on the brush, very little paint on the brush, just to get that little foam effects. Don't concentrate too much on foam. Foam is foam. There's no shape and set pattern to foam. So don't worry about it. So just put a little bit of that on there like that. Just put a little bit of that. Just breaking, and that's coming down in there like that. And you get the edge of the brush, and you can put a couple of thin lines in, just like that. We'll put a few more in a minute with a very thin brush, just to get some. And we have to put some shadows in as well. We will. So we need to put a little bit of. That's coming on the other side of that one, like that. See the colour. It's just picking up that. They've got a little bit of green in the water. It's just got a bit of green in the water like that. And it certainly have around where I live. So I don't know. It might not have where you are, but it's certainly where I live. That's what it looks like. There you go. We can get a little bit more yellow. Get a little bit more yellow, just flicking in there, like as if there's a little bit of light coming through. A little bit of light. Nice bit of blue. Let's get a bit of blue. Let's get a little bit of this. Let's get a little bit of this. This Prussian blue now. Get a bit of Prussian blue on my brush, and I just want to put a little bit of shadow, just under there like that. Just under there like that. Get that down there. So I got all these sheds now. I got all these sheds. And I was saying, muscle memory. When you're lifting weights and things like that, you've got to look at your muscles, and you've got to go, whoa, I'm going to grow that muscle, whoa. You really have. You've got to have a muscle-mind connection, otherwise things aren't going to work as you want them to, because we can press weights all day like this, but if you haven't got that connection, then it's not going to work. And the point I'm getting at, because we're having some fun in the studio today, the point I'm getting at is you've got to have that connection with your painting as well, because if you don't get that connection with a painting, then it's not going to be the way you want it to be. So when you're painting waves, think of waves in your mind. Shh, get that noise going into your brain, and you think, yeah, cracking up on the rocks or whatever you're painting. If you're thinking of rocks, then paint some rocks. We need to put some lighter foam patterns in, so I'm just picking up some just pure titanium white, just to get in a little bit of foam there now, and then just rolling the brush round like that, just to get that effect of the waves just crashing away like this, and get that brush, bring it down And you get that the way the wave folds, the way the wave folds. Because what happens? Can you see? Can I see? Can I show you something? Can I paint that? Yeah, I can. Okay, so what happens? So there's a direction of the waves, and the waves come in like this. The waves come in like that, and you've got the backflow of the water going that way. So when it hits the beach, you've got water going that way, and you've got water coming in this way. And what happens? It causes the wave to rise like this, and it's called like a wavelet. So you get that up and around motion, and basically what happens? That wave gets so high that it falls over, and it goes like that, whoosh, like that, and that's how waves form. Basically, that's how waves form. So you've got the rush of the undercurrent and the rush of the top current, and it causes the wave to tip over on itself and fall and collapse. And that's how waves are formed. So you have that in your mind. Have that in your mind. Like that. There we are. We're not going to do any more of that at the moment because we want to put some detail in there. So I'm going to use the same brush. And use the same brush, and I want to put some clouds in. So same brush, taking a little bit of paint off my brush. Yeah, I don't want too much on it. We just scattering a few clouds like that. Simple. Don't think about it. Wispy, wispy clouds. Nice summer's day. Wispy, wispy, wispy. Nice summer's day. And down there we can get a few brighter clouds in, because we've already put the white in, so we just put some highlights in like that. Helps to wash the brush to get that blue and yellow out. Sometimes I forget. I do. I'm a human being at the end of the day. There we go. Can I get some of them? I tell you what, there's somebody going on holiday, look. There you go. One of those little jet streams you see in the sky. Maybe it's somebody else going the opposite direction. There you are. Simple sky. You can make them a bit bigger if you wanted to. If you wanted to really make them fluffy. Put some more highlights on things like that. And the art of painting clouds is not paint clouds. Don't think about clouds. You think about clouds, but don't sit there and do this. Because it might take you a long time to actually develop a cloud shape, and it looks too clumpy. So you want clouds are loose and free, and they're just floating around in the sky. They haven't got a care in the world, and they're just doing their own thing, and that's all you want to do. So when you paint a cloud, we'll do again. Let's put one in there. All we're going to do is just sit back and go, I can live with that. That's the way to do it. So I got a script lining brush. So let's get some of my medium mix, because we need a nice thin paint. And again, we just need to put in some of these lines like this. There you go. A couple of thicker lines here and there. And that. Not as thick as that, maybe. I might want to put some on the back as well. Just like that. Don't forget that shape. Don't forget that shape. We got that shape going there. We could put a few lines just like this. In the background. just practice. This, all I ever want to do on my videos is just to inspire you to just to have a go and try all these different techniques. All I ever want to do, have a bit of fun painting along with a mad Welshman here in Wales. And let's get some Prussian blue again. Put in some shadows in. And when you're painting things like this, as I've said so many times in the past, it'll inspire you to go and do a bigger painting. And the most daunting thing in the world is to sit there and be confronted with this big canvas, and you think, oh my God, I can paint on that. Can I paint? And you don't, and people think they've got to fill every single inch of canvas up, and you don't have to. You don't. But the easiest thing I can think of, what I do is exactly what I'm doing here for you. When I come up with an idea of a painting, and I'm thinking I'm gonna do a seascape today, and I got this idea in my mind, or I've looked at some reference photos or things like that, and I think to myself, yeah, I'll do a little sample painting like this, and think, is it going to work? Is it actually going to work? Is that going to work? Maybe. And well, I do things like this then, and I think to myself, yeah. If I can change this and I can change that, and you know, I get all these different ideas in my mind. And I think I could take it that way, or I could take it this way, and if I change that, then that would work. And I've decided just to maybe darken this area up in the under there now. I just wanted to show you that if you change things sometimes mid painting, how you can actually change how that painting works and looks. So don't be afraid to change things when you got the opportunity to change them on paintings like this, because this is what this is. This is designed for you to, yeah, what if I change that? What if I want to make that look a little bit darker under there? Then what if I bring that down there like that? If I bring in a few marks like this, and there you go. What if we put some more foam patterns in there now? And this is why I love doing these type of things, because it gets me to a point where I think, yeah, now I know I've got a painting that I can take on to a bigger stage and develop, and I'm quite happy with the way that is. So all I need to do is a few little tweaks here and there, and I'm away. And that's what we try to do on these type of paintings. These are not finished paintings by any way, any source of the imagination, even if you're cack-handed like me. What it does is allow us to just play around with the paint and experiment, maybe. There you go. Because I got a mind now. I got a mind just to get a little bit of paint and just knock that horizon back just a touch like this. It's a bit bright. So if I get a little bit of white paint on my brush, there we are, and just kill the strength on that horizon like that. It makes the wave stand out a little bit more. You could put a land thing in there. You could put we could get a few seagulls in there if we wanted to. We could put a few little seals in there. like that. I don't know if you can see them, but they're there. There we are. Just a little touch of white like that. Yeah. You could put a section of land in there. You could put a boat on the water. Wow. Wow. There's so much you could do. So much you could do. So much you can have fun with. We could get a little bit of greeniness getting back in there like that. And I could sit here if I was just playing around with the patterns of the water. But for now, I think we've got a nice little sample paint in there that we can play with.